Algebra 2, this is Chapter 6, Section 7. This is Example 3, and I'm actually going to do two quick problems in this one. So first one, pretty darn easy here. I'm going to factor this. I see that square root of 25 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10, so I know that this is a perfect square. So I know that this is going to be x minus 5 squared. And since it's only got one root, it's only got one solution. The solution is going to be at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solution is going to be at 5 right there. It's a parabola and it's facing up. So I know I'm coming up here and I'm up here. And then we want to know which way we're graphing it. And we want all of our stuff that is less than 0. So that's probably going to be the stuff that's down below here. Let's double check it by checking a point. Check the point 0, 0. 0 squared, let's see, is 0 greater than or equal to, now let's go with 0 squared minus 10 times 0 plus 25. So is 0 greater than or equal to 25? The answer is no, which means I'm incorrect in my assumption there. So we would be graphing all of this stuff up in here. We are also equal to our parabola, and the only point we touch our line is right here. So after we've graphed it, our solution is just this point right here. So our solution is x equals 5, and that would be it on that one. So looking at another one, this is way more complex. I don't think you want to actually try to factor this thing. So one of our other methods is to use the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus, b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, there's our quadratic formula. So x is going to be equal to negative b. b is a negative 6, so that's a positive 6 plus or minus the square root, and 6 squared is 36 minus 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 times 1, so that will be a positive 8 here, all over 2a, so all over negative 4. Okay, so then one more time we'll go here. So that's 6 plus or minus 36 plus 8 is going to be 44, the square root of 44, so this is really ugly, all over negative 4. Okay, and since we're trying to find a decimal approximation here, we probably want, or we're trying to find a graph of this, we need a decimal approximation. So I'm going to go 6 plus the square root of 44, and I'm going to divide that by negative 4, and I get a x is going to be equal to negative 3.16-ish, or 3.2. I'm really not going to be able to graph too much closer than 3.2 on this graph. And then if I do the other one, so that's going to be 6, and I did 6 plus, so I'm going to do 6 minus the square root of 44 divided by negative 4. And I get this is going to be equal to a 0.16-ish. Okay, so then I can graph those. So negative 3.2-ish is somewhere over there, and 0.16 is really close right here. I am equal to those points. My parabola is facing down because I've got the negative sign right here. That means it's facing down. So if I sketch this thing in, it's going to be doing something like that. And then we want to figure out if we're shaded inside or outside. And we can just test points here. We can test this point here, which is negative 4. If I put negative 4 in here, so that would be negative 2 times positive 16 would be a negative 32. And I'm testing negative 4, right? Negative 6 times negative 4 is a positive 24, and plus 1, that's going to be a negative 32, plus 24, plus 1. It's still going to be negative. Is 0 less than that? No, so this is not a solution. Okay, test a point in here like -1. Let me erase that stuff off of there. And grab another color. So we'll go -1, so -2 times -1 squared minus 6 times -1 plus 1. So that's going to be -1 squared is +1 times -2 is -2. Negative times positive is positive, so that's plus 6 plus 1. Is this stuff going to be greater than 0? Yes. So we're in between here. So we're at the ends and we're in between. Then we test a point over here and see if that works. And so let me erase all this off of here and try another point. And so we'll try like 2, because 2 is just past that. So this is -2 times 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 1. So 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8, so that's a -8. And this will be minus 12 plus 1. This is definitely going to be negative. It's not going to be greater than 0. So it is not this part out here. It's just between here, which would mean that this inside of the parabola could be shaded if we were doing that part. And so our final answer is the set of all x's such that this decimal approximation down here was -3.16 would be less than or equal to x is less than or equal to, and then this decimal approximation here was 0.16. And that would be an acceptable answer to this problem.